We love old cemeteries and churchyards, so come with us as we explore these places for the past. We've got something a bit special for you. This is St Bridgets Kirk, which is in Fife in Scotland, and apart from being an amazing atmospheric old ruin, down there you can see it's got an amazing wee graveyard, so we're going to go and show you around. You're going to like this one. We're not promising that we're going to be reading lots of inscriptions because this is old, and we mean very, very old. And the first point of interest is actually outside. That's a wee stone hut with a wee fireplace in it so the people in there could keep warm. And the people in there were members of the families of the people that were buried in the churchyard, and they watched over the bodies to keep them safe from the body snatchers. The names in this churchyard are all fading from memory, but if you look closely you can still see 17... That's either a 3 or an 8. I'm going to say it's a 3. 1736. The rest of it is gone beneath the moss. We don't take the moss off in case we damage the stone. So let's head across this way where there's a nice forest of very, very old gravestones. So let's see what we can see on that one. On that one we can't see anything. That's exciting television, isn't it? That's because it's on the other side. 1778, but it's about much more than the gravestones here. It's the building itself is really, really quite impressive. And this one over here is another one that is quite old. Can we see a date on that? I'll have to edit it later so it sounds like I know what I'm talking about. If you can see a date on that, you're doing better than I am. But at the top we've got old friends, the skulls and the hourglass. The skulls reminding you that you're going to die, memento mori, and the hourglass telling you that time is short, so spend it wisely. Sometimes the small stones are as interesting as the big ones, because there is a stone that has got some tools on it. Now I thought that was a golf club. I'm not completely sure, but that would have been the trade of the person that is buried under there. There's a rather imposing wall of the rather pretty church. There's a tabletop gravestone that has got, I don't think, a great deal left on it to see. There's some traces of carving at the top there, but nothing to actually make out. Stone slab with nothing on it. Another nice wee gravestone. Has it got a date on it, this one? 17 something, 1778, is that a 3 or is that 1738? Again, it is the 1700s, so we are right back in history. This is a really smart little graveyard. This little stone is quite cool as well. I think that's 1786 at the top, and it says something, I can't really read that next bit, but down there it says JSCC, Henry Stock and Isabel something that is getting lost into the ground. There's lots of slabs lying on the ground. Now I think a lot of these are probably originally on the ground to stop people from digging up the bodies and using them for medical research. And this is one of the slabs, and most of these have got nothing on them or it's all worn away, but here it's not quite all worn away. You can't see much DG, but corpse of BL something. So here, this must have said here lies the on this side and corpse of on the other side, and then some bits in the middle. Over behind us is perhaps the coolest one, and this is when we go right back in time. We're back to 1685, and there's the winged hourglass and skulls and cherubs and stuff. The actual inscription stone is missing. Down the bottom it's our old friend, the skull and crossbones, and some extra crossbones just for extra effect. In case you miss the point of those crossbones, there's more crossbones. This guy clearly liked his crossbones. And for all you lovers of iconography, this one is quite nice as well. This is from 1731, and this guy RCMT has got a spade and some sort of tool, so I'm guessing he was possibly a farmer or a labourer or a builder or something. And around here we've got another one that's upside down. Let me just get that the right way up for you. That is doesn't have a date. It's here lies deposited the body of John Revy something who died. Oh, there you are. There's a date. 1778. This is such a nice graveyard, and there's a wee look down that way. We're going to go and have a look at more of those in a second. And on this stone, which unfortunately has all gone, it's quite winged. The winged skulls, these are usually winged cherubs. It's like a little baby's face, but these are winged sort of scary faces. Grrr. That's ECMC. That's usually if there's a married couple underneath you get two sets of initials. It's funny because they probably lived in a house with a marriage lintel, which above the door would have their initials and the date they got married, and then they're in a grave with their initials on top. That's something cyclical about that, I would think. Some of the stones in this place are really cool, but because it's just being left to its own devices, they are falling over. This one is probably over the last 300 years toppled over this much, and that is from 1735. THEL, the initials at the top. There's lots of writing there that we can't read. It's always quite good fun trying to decipher these things, so I can read it to you guys like I know what it actually says. But this one says, "Here lies the body of Alexander Leslie, who departed this life the something of May 1795. Aged 78 years. It is quite interesting because of the age of these tombstones. We can still see some writing on that, but not enough to make out. But there's been an inlaid section there that's gone. That one's still there. But if you look at these other stones, there's an inlaid section on that one that's gone, and quite a big inlaid section on this one that is gone. And above the inlaid section there is the lion rampant and a knight's shield, so a heraldic crest. And at the top, again, I wish it wasn't quite so far gone and we could tell you what it said, but we can't. And we've come into the church, and bits of this date back to the 11th century, so it is quite an old church. And there's a really quite impressive memorial there. It's got the lion rampant and the knight's helmet on the top from 1681, and then it's all written in Latin. I don't speak Latin, so you're on your own with that one. And a nice little side chapel-y bit that unfortunately has got nothing in it and is locked. This thing over here caught my eye as I was talking about that bit over there. This looks to me like the top of an old tabletop tombstone, something that wasn't originally in that wall. I can't quite make out what it says. Looks like it says God over there. Something anyway. It's got writing on it. We can't read. When I got home, I had a shot at trying to figure out what you can still see on this stone, and this is what I came up with. And from this, I was able to do a Google search and find out that somebody had documented every gravestone in this place. There's a PDF file you can download. I will put a link in the description. It is a church with quite a nice view. Or it would be if the weather was a little bit less foggy. Right, so that is the inside of the outside of the church. Let's go and look at more gravestones, because that is what we are here for. Actually, I've just noticed we don't have to go outside the church to show you more gravestones, because there are some slabs set into the floor. And in some of these slabs you can just about make out writing, but not a great deal. All very, very worn by centuries of feet. So let's see if any of these are actually readable. And that one, if you look at that, there's definitely text on that. I'll get it the right way up for you guys. It says, "Here, H-E-I-R, lies, L-Y-S, the body of..." Oh, right, no, C-H-R-A... Ah, right. It's over the lines, to obviously. "Here lies the body of Christopher... I don't know. Anyway. That has got writing on it. Oh, over here. Now, when I read the sign outside, it said the body of the guy that had this thing built was actually buried in a crypt underneath it. I'm guessing that is the slab, beneath which is the crypt. Ooh, creepy. Let's go over to this next one, which is... I'm trying to find something in here with a date, as opposed to finding something in here with a puddle, and it's all just puddles. None of this has got a date on it. After the church fell into disuse and disrepair, there's still been some comparatively new tombstones added to it. That's from 1888, and that is the Phillips family. And this one here I thought was quite interesting, because we are in Fife in Scotland, and that is sacred to the memory of Adeline Frances Alfrey, wife of Henry Wells, blah blah blah, of Hemmingford House, Stratford-on-Avon. My adventure companion has noticed something that I missed. First of all, is Cairney is in Fife, so it's not so ridiculous that they're actually buried here. And this is the Mowbray sort of family plot. There's a Mowbray there. There's not a Mowbray on that one. That's the wrong one to show you. There's a Mowbray there. There's a Mowbray, D. Mowbray, Elizabeth D. Mowbray, even posher. And over here, see, there's Mowbrays everywhere. Mowbrays to the left of him, Mowbrays to the right of him. Percy Lionel Mowbray, he sounds like a bit of a dandy. And over here, this is a really, really nice stone. Captain Mowbray, Royal Navy of Otterston. That's a really nice picnic table gravestone, the sort of vaulted top style, which I think makes it even older. But at the top, I've got this upside down, but at the top, there's the winged cherub, and at the other end, you can guess what you'll find at the other end. There's a skull, an hourglass, and some bones. And these ones here are all sinking into the ground, so they're all a lot shorter than they would once have been. But that's got quite a lot of raised relief on it. That one down there. I mean, all these names are now under the ground, and all you can see is the very top of the stones sticking out. So let's go down this way and see if we can see anything else that's interesting. Hourglass winged cherub, interesting-ish. This one is 17 at that end and 52. Is it 1752? Does that look like 1752 to you guys? I think it might be. And down here there's the remains of more tabletop gravestones, again with very consistent iconography on them. Ew, consistent iconography, get me sound like I know what I'm talking about. The flying skull, some heads, some skulls, and yeah, all gone though. Unfortunately, all these names have faded. I'm pretty sure if you were to use some clever technology or shine a light from the right angle, you could probably read some of that, but I'm guessing not very much. And oh, look up there. Look at all those picnic table gravestones. Shall we go for a wee look? You already know the answer to that one. That's quite imposing and quite impressive, and probably quite expensive. But nothing on it. It's all gone. So whoever spent that money has wasted their cash, because you can't see who they were. Same with that one. That's another winged cherub thing, and yeah, these have all got nothing on them. Is that just weathering, or is there more to it than that? I don't know. Oh, actually, if you look at it from this side in the right light, you can see there is, I'm guessing that is a winged head at that end, and that's definitely a skull, bones and hourglass at that end. And up in this last corner we've got this quite impressive stone. It's quite impressive, A, because it's sunk quite a long way into the ground, and B, because you can mostly read it, and it says, "Here lies the body of you." Oh, look at that. That's is that Eupelin? But that L has been fitted in afterwards. The letters are all joined together, like the mason made a bit of a boo-boo. Anyway, of Eupelin Anderson, spouse to the R.M. James Bathgate, minister of the gospel in this place. Oh wow. Who died on the 8th day of July 1766. Or is that 33? it's from up there it looked like 66. It's actually the 8th day of July 1766. Years. See, why does it say that and then years? That just confused me. In the 45th year of her age. So that doesn't make sense. That year's there. Who died on the 8th day of July 1766, years in the 45th year of her age. That doesn't make sense. That's another Masonic boo-boo. That they've got that wrong. And there's another this is Bathgate, minister of the gospel. It's the same guy, so he's here as well. So it's his wife and him, and then round this side, and the daughters of James Bathgate, minister of the gospel in this place. He's got minister of the gospel in this place written 3 times on this gravestone, just in case you didn't know. He's minister of the gospel in this place. And this is his daughter, who died in infancy between the years 1744 and 1760. I don't know how many he lost, but that is plural daughters who died in infancy. And if you like a dark and mysterious staircase, this is a not very dark and not at all mysterious staircase, but it would have been when it went down that way, possibly. Anyway, let's go up the stairs and see what we can see. It's just going to be obviously at the upper level of the church, which is still in surprisingly good condition. There's a bit where we were a few moments ago. This is just vandalism. It's not history. Well, vandalism becomes history at some point. I'm just not sure exactly when that point is. It is worth coming upstairs in the church just to get a look at the view of the graveyard. This would be a cracking house if you liked graveyards. Yeah, if you really, really, really liked graveyards. Well, as places for the past go, this has been one of our favourites, and as you can see, it is not very well known and not very widely visited, so ignore the apparition waving in that window. We hope you enjoyed this little visit to St Bridgets Kirk. It's a place that's not very well known, but if you do find yourself in Fife and you like the old graveyards and the old churches, it is definitely well worth a visit. If you'd like to find out more about the surviving inscriptions in St Bridgets Kirk, at least the ones that were surviving in the 1980s, then I cannot recommend the Fife Historical Society PDF document highly enough. I'll put a link in the description so you can go and see for yourself what these tombstones actually say, as opposed to my interpretation of what I think they might say.